Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Controllers and Coffee. It's a video game podcast where I am joined by the illustrious Kat Jerritson. Good evening, Kat. What is up? What is new?
You know, just here to talk video games.
Yes, and we've got a lot to talk about this evening. This week we've had the Devolver Direct presentation, which was mind-blowing. We've had Ubisoft forward just today, and we have a couple of little topics to cover and questions to answer from some people in the audience. So let's kick it off with what I believe is one of the greatest things I've ever watched in my entire life, Devolver Direct. God, this was just insane. So if people haven't watched the previous Devolver Directs from the last 2 years, they're pretty much just a parody of everything gaming convention, press conference wise, and they keep getting more and more out of hand with their little, I guess, meta story.
Yeah.
I don't know where to begin. It was just insane. So well produced, and they did announce some awesome games as well. So, Kat, what's your overall thoughts on the Devolver Direct?
Fantastic, as always. Like, I think if anyone comes in having not watched the previous Directs, you're going to be hella lost, but you're still going to have a great time, dude. Like, it's so good. It's weird. It's like a 40-minute Direct, and it doesn't cover that many games, but you know what? That's classic for Directs and like digital showcases, but they make it entertaining the entire time. So I loved it.
And they straight up stole like the color scheme and the art from a Nintendo Direct. Like, it was so just unashamedly a parody. Oh my god.
It's so good though. I love it. I love it so much.
Before we get into the games, let's just talk about one. They managed to somehow convince Shuhei Yoshida and Phil Spencer to join.
Yeah.
And
right.
Really, like, not even to the point of just getting them to announce something. They got them involved. It was phenomenal.
Shuhei was amazing.
It really was so good.
I'm in Japan.
Oh my god. Okay, so I think the first game they showed was Shadow Warrior 3. I'm not hugely aware of the Shadow Warrior series. I think it was the first one on Xbox Game Pass a while back, or live with gold, like free games with gold or something like that. It was fine. This looks kind of cool. Do you have any kind of high-level thoughts on that one?
High-level thoughts. The demon designs were amazing.
They
They looked so sick. That accordion one that like bounced around. It was so fast.
What the hell?
Like, I will never be able to shoot that if I play that game. It moves way too fast for me.
Yeah.
I won't advance past this point. Like,
that was very cool.
So good.
Never seen an enemy design quite like that before, where it just they're so creepy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of folklore there to build off. Like, I think one of the not staples, but something that occurs in Japanese folklore a lot is that, like, if an item lives longer than 100 years, then it becomes a spirit. So anything could be a demon, I guess. Like,
that's cool.
Why not a fucked up accordion?
Oh my god. Not? It was horrifying.
It was terrifying, but I really loved all the designs and like the arena / levels. Like, they looked beautiful, gorgeous. I'm all about it.
Almost like Doom-esque, like the way it like played out. Like, I guess maybe it was the shotgun that made me think of that, but it was very
absolutely.
Lots of like intense combat and
high impact.
Demon, very much so. Wall running and slashing and kind of had that what's that new game that's coming out? Ghost Runner vibe to it. Looked pretty cool. Does that one doesn't have a release date as of yet?
I don't think so.
But
no. But it did make me want to go back and I had a look at Shadow Warrior 2. I mean, I've got too many things to play right now, so I didn't download it, but I might one day.
Yeah. absolutely. Could be cool. Olija. I don't know how to pronounce that. They didn't say it. I think this was
I think it's
the
Aaliyah. I
Aaliyah,
don't know.
maybe. Yeah. Prince of Persia style, inspired 2D platformer, pixel art style. That was that one.
Yeah, very cool.
That was
On
cool.
Steam and I think it's Steam and Switch demos available now.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is
Cool.
really cool.
Maybe I have
It's
to check
super
that out.
cute. I really liked it. I'm actually really interested in it. It looked really cool.
Yeah. That one, I don't know. I don't think that had a release date either. But
I don't think so either.
I don't have much thoughts on that. But a game that I do have a lot of thoughts on, and I'm very, very excited to know that it's finally coming out, that we got to play last year at PAX, was Fall Guys. What are they calling it? Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Holy crap. This is just wonderful. I love the idea of this. I think it's going to be massive when it comes to streaming and, just that hilarious aesthetic and just it's so busy and so intense, but just so colorful and fun.
And the soundtrack is so chaotic on top of it.
Yeah.
It's a really good soundtrack, but it's so chaotic. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah, no, I am so keen for that. And that's PS4 and Steam. I thought this was coming out on everything, but I guess not.
I thought so too, but it definitely only said PS4 and Steam.
Yeah,
so,
but hey, that's cool. Well. And you said on the website that this does have crossplay?
Yeah, when I Googled it, everything seemed to say crossplay. I found one or two sources that said crossplay but not on release, but everything else said it is crossplay.
Yeah.
But just straight up is. So remains to be seen, I suppose.
Yeah.
We'll find out shortly.
And it seems, and I think they kind of answered this question on Twitter as far as I saw, but it seems that when we played it, it was 100 players.
Yeah, it definitely was. It looks like it's 60 now.
Now it's 60. But they said on Twitter that, because a lot of people were like, oh, what happened to the 100 players? And they're saying that testers were saying, like, it didn't really make any noticeable difference when it was 100. It was like, it didn't really matter. And it was more... I get that.
There's suddenly too many things on the screen, like, you don't notice when that many people get cut out.
Exactly. Especially, if they're cutting it down, if it's by 20 every match or something like that, maybe they can thin the herd a little bit slower, like, so people get more chance to play more games. Because, oh man, it's I
so
think
good.
So much potential to get additional content. Like, you could make any little mini game for that.
Absolutely.
And it seemed like they had loads of different ones that we didn't see at PAX. Because what did we play? We played like the egg one, the wall, like fake doors one.
Yeah, we played the one where you got to fit through the slots or you'll get pushed off the edge.
Yes, like the Guitar Hero style thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reverse Guitar Hero. And something else. And then the final one was like just a race to the end to grab the crown.
Yeah.
That was, that was cool. I'm so excited for this. And it's like, what, 2 and 3 weeks away?
It's really close.
It's so
I'm
cool.
like,
yeah.
I also love Shuhei Yoshida, and they're like, we had Fall Guys to to present this section, but turns out when you leave them alone, they eat each other.
Oh my god. It's like, they do look delicious. that got dark. That got dark.
That got dark.
They're so, like, love that. I love that, like, Devolver absolutely takes the piss out of the industry in every possible way, but then still has so much respect from, people in the industry. Like Shuhei, he was head of SIE, like Sony Studios, and now he's like head of indies at Sony, and just, I love that so much. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. Like, man, I loved that so much. And then to follow that up with Phil.
With Phil Spencer.
With Big Phil.
And Carrion, which is a game we saw last year, which is coming out on July 23rd for Xbox and PC. So it's cool that Devolver have like an exclusive
Is
for
it
both.
Handy as well?
I think that one was. Oh no, that one is on Switch as well. But they kind of Phil didn't say on the Switch. He just said Xbox and PC.
He's like, don't mention them.
Yeah.
don't let anybody know.
Coming to Game Pass day one as well.
Yeah.
And it looked like there were new features that they didn't show last year when they showed it off at E3. Like, well, maybe I just can't remember, but like taking control of a human.
Yeah, the
and
mind
being able
control.
to,
Yeah, I thought that was new as well. Yep.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Very
Didn't
cool.
see that. Or we both have selective memory
Yeah.
problems.
It could be that.
Either or.
It looks cool though, and like it seems that you just kind of get bigger and more hideous mass.
Or yucky.
Oh, it's so gross. But that was just so ridiculous. Having the carrion. Speaking of Phil Spencer.
The carrion.
And it was so like.
I don't want to share the screen with anybody. Oh, Phil Spencer. Oh, why don't you see?
I literally can't get over it. It's so good. So well done.
It was beautiful.
Yes, very good. Now, there was another cameo. Oh my god. Another cameo from the voice actor of Geralt of Rivia. I can never remember his name. And then they just...
I didn't even put that in my notes. You know, it's my favorite bit, but I forgot already.
I didn't put it in my notes, but I had to bring it up because it's so hilarious that they managed to get him on. And...
I'm not gonna get memed again.
Oh, so funny. They just showed the bathtub. I'm not doing a bathtub scene. Why was that even there? Now I can't even remember why.
It was a part of showing new games that they aren't gonna make, sort of thing, and getting different announcers. And then they had The Witcher himself announced.
That's the goddamn Witcher.
That's the goddamn Witcher. Amazing.
Oh, so
we also
good.
had a cameo from Jeff Keighley.
Yes,
Cool.
or Jeff Keighley impersonator. The architect. That was great. Very cool. And just like what an absolute fever dream that whole show was. It just...
I know, because from this point on, they just start getting into garbage, getting down with Bennett Foddy, will it into existence on Discord.
Oh my god! What, like,
with dance moves by me again, Bennett Foddy.
And that team, what was it? Beams team with, oh my god. Okay, so anyone watching this, listening to this, go to, what was it? beamsteam.com.
It's www.thebeansteam.com. That's bean like a baked bean.
Beans.
Yeah. Beansteam.com. You're in for the time of your life.
You will not be disappointed.
They're hiring now if you want a job, so head on over.
Yeah.
They're real jobs.
Despite
what the website might make you think, they're real jobs.
They definitely need someone to do their website for them. Or do they? Because my god, it is phenomenal.
I don't think they do. I think they've reached
peak website.
They have ascended. Like, no one will reach their level. They cannot do it any better. No. And then we had like Sonic Fox's Furry Fighter 4.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. That could be a game. To be honest, that
it could be. And then they just start with number 4, and then they go backwards and do 3, 2, 1.
Why not?
And then you know there's an end.
Exactly.
You know there's an end.
Yeah.
You can't go forever. You can only make 4.
Oh, so good. And I think Serious Sam 4, they announced a little while ago, and they showed some gameplay on Stadia and PC.
Yeah.
What? Stadia. I thought Stadia was dead.
I thought Stadia died already, dude. Like, I thought they were gone. I mean, they're gone to us. They never existed to us because we can't access Stadia in any way.
Exactly. So fuck Stadia. Yeah, I mean, Serious Sam looks fine. Like the other games, like it looks like Serious Sam.
Doomish,
Yeah, it's like very fast paced. shooter. I didn't
Graphic
really
series.
like the other ones, but whatever.
That comes out in August.
Yes, yeah, it does. And something that wasn't shown there, but you said was in the Devolverland Expo was Weird West, which is another Devolver game, which I just wanted to talk about quickly because it's being developed by a team essentially of ex Dishonored and Prey developers. So
Absolutely.
they love the whole immersive sim genre, and they wanted to kind of bring that to an indie game, which is pretty exciting. But it's kind of isometric
Kind of
and
action RPG-ish.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, but with that simulation vibe. And that I think that has a lot of potential to be a
Very
lot of
cool.
fun.
Simulation vibe to the point that if you do something, you can't go back to a previous save and undo
Yes,
it.
yeah,
Like they lock you in. They're like, get fucked. You can go back in time, but that decision's already made,
yeah,
idiot. Like,
yeah.
which is
And
really cool.
I like the vendetta aspect. So like if you kill someone and their friend gets away, they'll have a vendetta out for you, and they'll come back and try and get you later on, kind of when you least
Yeah,
expect it. That was very cool.
and your friends can perma die. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Very
finally,
realistic.
they really built up this thing right at the end. It's like, what the hell are they talking about? And you'd already told me, but tell us about the Devolverland Expo, Kat. You've played this.
I did. I 100%ed it, so you know I'm a real tough gamer girl right here. But yeah, through the whole event, if you haven't seen it, huge spoilers. You need to they need to get back control of the digital events of the meetings. Um, and the way they do it is the architect, Jeff Keighley impersonator himself, has Devolverland Expo get uploaded and shown. And Devolverland Expo is a game that they popped on Steam, free to play. You can go play it now if you like. And it's basically you break into a shut down convention center, uh, and you go to the merch stall and you steal like a foam gun, like a what are those things? Nerf, like
Nerf gun. Yeah, sure,
like a
sure.
Nerf gun, and you get to shoot. The only enemies that are around are really robots that are monitoring the place. I never got caught by one once, but you can shoot them to disable them. And you go around and you check out all the stores. There's like a GeForce stall, like all these all
What?
these different types of stalls. You go, the first ones I think you see are Carrion, and then Wild West. No, Weird West,
Weird
sorry.
West. Yeah.
Carrion and Weird West, and you go in and they ask you to watch the trailers, and you do a few other things. You keep moving forward and you watch all these different game trailers and interact with their little exhibits. Like the Fall Guys one has heaps of Fall Guys in it, and you have a little bouncy trampoline and a slide that you get to go
Oh
down.
my god, so
The
good.
Carrion one has a Carrion in there, and he like eats a robot. It's super yucky and squelchy. The Weird West one has like tumbleweeds. Like it's super cool. Each of them have their own little sections. Aaliyah or Elijah, however you pronounced it, was in there. Pretty much everything that they showed was in there. The Shadow Warrior 3 area was the coolest. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
Until you go and you fight this like robot that's been talking to you throughout the whole game, and you beat them so that you can escape the convention center sort of thing and get everything set right in the world and fix up all the fucked up things happening on the Devolver Direct, which is very cool.
That's
But
so
they also
good.
had really cool collectibles that you could go through and get. And there were 3 sets of collectibles, so 3 sets of 4. And if you collected them when you finished the game, you got this little, like a web page. And it showed you some, I guess, little tidbits, little sneaky peeks of some unannounced projects
Ooh.
from Devolver. So there was like a comic book one that was like, I was just like, hints of a new game found in comic book page. Like that, it's It literally is nothing that you see. You know, unless you're a hardcore researcher, I don't know what you could really get from those except for potentially an art style sort of thing. But still really cool. So amazing game, very short and easy to 100% for you achievement hunters out there. Like,
Yeah.
get on it.
Yeah.
Suckers.
Yeah. Only on Steam for PC, which I assume is just because it's super easy for them to release that.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know how
It's a
long
bit
it's going to be
buggy.
out there, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. And like very simple, and there's invisible walls everywhere, so you can't get past things. The worst thing though is I never get motion sick, but I got so motion sick
Yeah.
on that game. I was like, man, I feel dizzy, and I didn't realize until I almost threw up that it was the game that was making me sick. I was sitting here playing, and I was like, I'm about to vomit. Like, why do I feel so sick? And then I remembered. I twinged a little thought that when I was downloading the game, there was a little Steam. They show these like little articles and things people have written, and one of them was like how to turn off motion blur. It made me sick, and I was like, that's it. It's the motion blur, which doesn't have an option. Like I just had to turn post processing to low to not have motion blur, and then I was
Right.
fine as baby. But
Yeah, weird.
you could die watching. You could vomit up your entire heart while you play that game. It's blurry, dude. Like it's bad.
Oh, that's awesome. Very
But yeah,
cool.
super cool way to like
Super Devolver
show your
thing to do.
trailers. Yeah,
Yeah.
really cool. I actually really loved it. Very cool concept. I'm all about it. Give me more.
It's so funny. I just, oh man, if people haven't watched it, definitely check it out. It is one of the funniest things I've watched in a long time. Just how out there it is, and it
Just
just
full on wacko
takes the piss out of everything. It takes the piss out of just
itself.
COVID, like lockdown restrictions and bloody the line "This is meetings now." It just I lost my shit.
Literally us right
Oh
here.
my god! I just
Now.
this is meetings now. Oh, it was just so well delivered. It was brilliant. So check out the Devolver Direct. You will not regret it. You will lose your shit. And let us know in the comments what you thought about it as well. Because my god, what a
They are a legitimate pleasure. Like
crack up.
I normally, if I miss a direct or something, I don't want to watch that bullshit. Like, give me the trailers compilation and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But you can't not watch that. Like, it's so good.
And so a lot of their kind of, I guess, shtick was that, like, you know, they were doing this first and people are copying them, and that's what everybody does now. And you know, there are so many digital events going on, and one question or discussion point I'd love to cover is like, do you miss E3? And like, because personally, I think I do in a way, because I mean, we watch it digitally anyway. But like, are there just too many things to watch over this like Summer Games Fest thing? You know, Jeff Keighley kind of, you know, it's all their own thing, but it's overwhelming to me. What are your feelings on this, Kat?
I, as
That's
someone
a tricky
who
one.
lives off the hype, like in that Devolver Direct, they're talking about how the consumer is all for the hype. Like
Yes.
that's all they want now. That's me, dude. Like I'm all for the hype. I
Yeah.
want to get hyped up. But I find myself so easily lost with this Summer Games stuff. Like it's not all together for me, and I forget that shit's going on. I didn't even know the Ubisoft one was on until you messaged me, and I didn't know the Devolver one was on until I got home from work, and I was like, oh, Devolver, there's some news on my timeline. Actually, no, you know what it was? It wasn't news on my timeline. I went onto Steam to to download some games, and I saw the Devolverland Expo, and I was like, what's this? And I clicked on it and saw it was a free download, and it talked about the Devolver Digital Direct, and I was like, shit, I need to watch that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm losing it. I don't see garbage, and that's the worst part because I want to be a part of the hype, and it's
Yeah,
so much easier when you cram that shit into a week as opposed to over a few months. I forget it.
absolutely. I
I peep.
a little while back I went on the Summer Games Fest website, and you can like add a dynamic calendar pretty much. So
Yeah,
every
kind of like
time,
when we went to PAX, you can like add the events you want to go to.
yeah, well, this automatically updates your like Apple Calendar or Google Calendar or whatever whenever they add a new event. So I see it pop up in my calendar, so I knew it was coming. But even then, like,
That's been
there
great. I should have
was
done that.
but it's not obvious to go to the website because most people consume their content on YouTube, and I didn't even get like suggested the Devolver Direct. I had to search for it, but I knew it had happened. But even then, like a few weeks ago when it was like the Guerrilla Collective thing, which is like a whole bunch of indie stuff, there were like 4 days of Guerrilla Collective shows, and they were all like over an hour long, and it's just so much to consume. And
I
like,
don't have that much time to consume.
no, absolutely. And also, there was something else. Obviously, like the Xbox and the PlayStation ones are really well advertised, so it's like everyone's going to see them. But I think these other ones really slipped through the cracks. There's so many games that have been announced, which I think if they're at an E3, or if they're at E3 and say, like, I love Game Informer and I follow everything they do at like E3, like, I will watch their kind of wrap up podcasts, or I'll watch their like, end of the day kind of discussions, and they'll talk about all these other games, and that kind of prompts you to look them up. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
the PC game show I think has already been, and it like really didn't make an impact.
Yeah.
As it would when it's like, this press
a part of
conference,
E3.
this press conference, this press conference. So, yeah, I think it's overwhelming, and that's, I guess, a blessing and a curse because we're getting
Yeah.
all this extra content, but there's probably amazing games that we're not seeing.
Yeah. I absolutely think there's so much that I've missed. I would really love, and you know what? There might be one out there, and maybe I'm just too dumb-brained to find it, but I'd really love if there was just a website that listed everything as it got announced.
Yeah.
Just every game. I don't care about, like, even like as someone who potentially wouldn't watch the Devolver Direct, if you could just put in the games though in a list and just have a list of literally everything that's been announced on the Summer Games Fest, then that I could just look through and I could just click on the link and take me to a trailer. Like,
Yeah. It's
then
got to
I
be
wouldn't
on
miss it.
like
I just gotta miss
IGN's
it.
website or something. But there's so much.
Gotta be.
The other thing was
miss it.
IGN. IGN did like the Summer of Gaming, and they did like 4
they did
days
too.
worth, and I watched a little bit of it. It was really good. They covered stuff that had already been announced, but also showed more of new stuff and a bit of everything. But again, it was like 4 or 5 hours worth, and I couldn't consume it all.
You can't keep up, and it gets
Yeah.
washed away.
Yeah.
I think, especially for some of those indie games or the smaller showcases that you don't necessarily go out of the way to watch, that E3 period where it's highlighted on either side by big conferences makes
Yeah.
it really easy to be like, what other conferences are on that I can watch? Oh, let's check this out too, and it lends a lot more marketing power, I guess, to them. Whereas the Summer Games Fest is a great idea, but I don't see shit.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not.
see anything.
In theory, it's really, really good, and it is really, really good. What's coming out, but yeah, it's hard to keep a track of it all. And like E3 week, you can just go on YouTube, go to E3, and there's like hours upon hours of like this thing that came out, and like Colosseum, and like developer interviews, and that's the stuff I really love watching. That like, getting to know like a game.
Colosseum.
Yeah, it was so good. And as much as like Jeff Keighley does his like pre and post shows and talks to developers, it doesn't have that same vibe, which I do really miss. And like E3 has a lot of areas where it needs to improve hugely, but I think having it all within the same week, like, it's amazing what they fit into E3 week, really. Now we're looking at it from the outside. But I think like I I really, really miss that. Like, oh, I know the Xbox thing's on at 6 a.m. and then straight after that is Bethesda, and straight after that is Ubisoft, and then we got
so
Nintendo Treehouse.
Nut it out in one go. I think, I really think the Summer Games Fest is fantastic. But if there was... I wish it was like... And I don't know if it is because I haven't paid enough attention. I haven't been able to see enough. If there was a set time just every week where they were like, Friday, 6 a.m. for us, classic, is gonna be something.
Yes,
and so every week you can be like, I'm not sure what I'm seeing, but I'm gonna see something.
Yeah.
Or if at the end of the week they did a roundup video and they were like, here's some highlights from the past week. Here's the main games that were announced in each thing, and here's a little bit of info about the other stuff. If you're interested, links below, sort of thing. Like,
that's a really good
call. That would be so much easier to consume, and be like, okay, well, I've just watched a 20-minute thing about 4 different conferences, and in each one they spend 1 minute talking about the main game and 4 minutes talking about some of the little ones that you might want to see. And then I can go back and say, okay, I actually want to watch A, B, or C.
Yes.
That would be so much easier than being like, I don't know what I want to watch because I don't know what's on or what it is. Like, what's happening.
Yeah. And I find even some of the channels that I follow aren't, I guess, capitalizing on that might be the wrong word, but like,
I understand what you mean.
I'm not seeing as many, like,
there's not as much coverage.
Yeah, there'd be like E3 day 1, like wrap up, E3 day 2, like, and it's just like everything kind of jam packed into a quick video like that, links and everything in the description, and I think that is severely lacking. Like a kind of, even though Summer Game Fest is like a place where it all can, come from, it's not as well, it's not a well-oiled machine. And like, you're talking E3, it's huge, and they're trying to do this kind of on the fly from home and everything. But
I'm sure it will improve. There's growing pains, as there always is, but we can make a wish list of things that we want. Like,
and that's it. And we're in Australia. We're watching it from home anyway, so it's not like the event not happening matters that much to us, as much as I would love to go if it ever comes back. But now, after, what's it been, like almost 2 months worth of Summer Game Fest stuff, it's like you really need them all to come together and go, cool, we're doing this at this time, then straight after that is this, and then straight after that is that, and I think that would work a lot better.
More convenient for me. Like, if only I was a full-time video games journalist, then perhaps I could keep on top of it. But as someone with a regular everyday life that works the 9 to 5, it's not easy to stay on top of. And I really can't like if I want to spend 4 days vegging and watching E3, I can take that time off. I can't do that for Summer Games Fest. I cannot do that. Just take a solid 3 months off. Like, I mean, I wish, but no.
There's so many down days where there's nothing as well, so you'd be sitting around like for like a week. Like,
what's the next news? Let me watch that Assassin's Creed trailer again.
Well, that segues greatly, Kat, into our next topic, which is another digital event. This one was well advertised. It
was.
I have some thoughts on it. Ubisoft Forward from this morning. Ubisoft showed off a bunch of games. I don't know.
Shirt.
Yeah.
Because cold. Very cold. We did that back up.
I'm just gonna say it was a bit of a disappointment, to be honest.
Yeah, there was one thing I was interested in. It's probably not what you expect. Well, it might be, actually. You know me pretty well. But like, I saw one of the comments on your tweet, and it was like, do all of these games look kind of shit or what? And that was not the word.
Yeah.
Let's. You know what I mean?
Let's cover that now. All right. So on Twitter, Mash Games at Mash Games asks, Did the characters in the Ubi Forward games, which all seem to be the same game in different settings, very true of Ubisoft games, this morning all look a bit last gen, or have I just been playing too much The Last of Us Part 2? I think a little bit of both, yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I was... we've already mentioned Assassin's Creed, which is perfect, because that's the one I thought. I was watching it, I was watching the little gameplay bit, and I thought, this just looks kind of shit. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and it is on par. Given the animations are a little bit better in Assassin's Creed, like they're not as jank, but what am I looking at? What am I doing?
I don't know if that was like a poor stream quality or something, but like they all looked like they were very flat. Like their faces were like one solid color, and
even the environments didn't look that good though, and that's easy to make look good. Environments often look better than characters, like just full stop.
Yeah, I'd be interested to watch the upload of the video, because I think it was streamed Ubisoft Forward.
I watched the upload and it still looked.
You did? Yeah, it's weird. Like, because Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I was like, is my YouTube not loading this?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I think, I mean, The Last of Us Part 2 is a bit of an outlier, because that literally has some of, if not the best, especially facial animations and just level of detail. And
looks real.
We're talking about very different genres of games. When you're talking about an open world RPG, obviously it's not going to have that
on the character.
Exactly. But you're right. Like, I totally get what Mash Games is saying. It's like, for one, this is what I've really fallen off Ubisoft games for over the last few years. Is like, they are really, what's the word, like uniform or kind of homogenous. Yes.
Yeah. And no, I fully get you.
Yeah, and like, okay,
each year same shit, literally. Which
yeah.
I guess that also impacts their ability to update their models or the look of their game and make it look nicer, because you're literally speeding to get it out in a year. I mean, obviously you probably start before then, but but still.
And I mean, it will have been 2 years since Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I mean, Odyssey's facial animations don't look that bad, so I don't know if it's like early footage or just bad YouTube quality or whatever, but it definitely didn't have that like
rose tinted glasses, dude. Like, this used to look better, I swear. Black Flag looked much better than this.
Then you look at Black Flag, it's like, oh god, the pixels.
Like,
oh god.
Oh my.
Edward Kenway, what happened to your face?
Jesus.
A very good point though. And the first game they showed off was something that we saw last year at E3, and then we saw again at Ubisoft Experience, which was Watch Dogs Legion, which has now got a release date for October 29th.
Very cool.
It made a point to say, you know, we're doing the whole you can be anyone in the city thing, but again, oh my god, the lip syncing and the facial animations were god awful. And
it's terrible.
It's not like...
You know what, though? Their intro trailer, which they smartly had their little not game
This is
footage,
not gameplay,
That looked fab. Like, it looked really good.
It was very stylized.
Kind of like Spider-Verse-y, yeah.
I didn't like it. I don't know. There's something about it that I did not like. I don't know.
No, that's okay.
I think it was like... They're trying to go for this... It felt like they're trying to go for the same thing as like Watch Dogs 2, where it was like very like cool and like, I don't know, edgelord kind of thing.
Look, I'm all about the edgelord life. I don't think it really suited what they've shown. Oh, in a way it does, and in a way it doesn't. But as a standalone, I like the trailer.
Yeah.
By itself, I like the colors. I like the Shijika power. I like the stippling and the half-tone effects, like Spider-Verse sort of feels, but then they show you what the real game looks like, and you're like, oh,
In the daytime, it looked better, and then in the nighttime, I thought the level of detail was weird. Also, can I just point out there was this shot in that short film thing where he like jumps on, or she was it a she or he?
It was a she. Yeah,
where she jumps on like the drone, and my god, that CG looked god awful for a second.
It was looked garbage. That was the worst part. I was like, ugh.
I was like, what?
Literally just before, I was like, this is nice. This is like semi-filmed, like sort of like, mocap stuff. And then she jumped on the drone. I was like, oh.
Ugh, what happened there? It's like they screwed up like a little bit of, I don't know, the lighting or something just looked wrong. And hey,
they didn't render that bad boy.
I'm not a visual effects artist, so I apologize to those people who worked on that. But if you're going to tout it as a short film, like, dear God, that looks fucking awful.
We're harsh critics.
We're horrible.
We put it out that looks like absolute dog shit, and their one looks really nice, just a bit jank, and we're like, garbage.
Ever kill it.
Anything like that ever again. Not worth showing. Put that in the bin.
Put it in the bin. I must say, one thing I did like about Watch Dogs was the melee combat looked really in depth. Like I guess, different things you could do with the different weapons you had, and like the assassin hitman guy like choked the guy with a garrote, and
literally John Wick.
Yeah. And the construction worker had like a
wrench,
massive wrench. He was like smashing people with it. I thought the hand-to-hand stuff seems really cool, which I like. I like that.
Stealth drone too. I like how fast it was, and it was like just like incapacitating people and whoop them past.
And I was thinking when they showed like you can be an Albion like agent.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, imagine if you could like set up your whole team as just infiltrators, like all Albion. Oh, that'd be sick. And it has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential. Really cool. The bad guy seems like a pretty bad,
bad guy. He's a bad guy.
British bloke. It was very like almost Guy Ritchie film-esque, like just dirty Londoner.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm interested in that game, but
I'm still just not sold on how it's going to turn out.
No,
dude.
I don't like.
Like preset characters you're going to come across that are just almost the same? It's just a different body sort of thing. Like,
yeah, and like so many of them were like a hacker specialist and a hitman, and like this. It's like, how many of those people are really just walking around London? Like the fact there was a construction worker, it was like, look, we have normal jobs too, but it's like, yeah, but isn't like every second person just going to be some shit? Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm going to get this retail guy.
I want to be me.
And like the drunk guy just like passed out. Like, it's like, well, that guy's fucking useless.
Yeah, is that a part of the gameplay that he's gonna get captured or beat to shit? Just on, like, bye, dude. Like, see ya, permadeath, bye.
Yeah, like, permadeath because he died of alcohol poisoning. Fucking Jesus.
Just passed out on the road and got run over by a bus driver. But I'll recruit the bus driver. You can tell that he's full of malice.
I think the from things they spoke about, like from outlets and stuff spoke about last year, it seems like there's a lot of kind of simulation aspect of like, if something happens, they'll end up in the hospital, and then you can go and break them out of the hospital and stuff like that. And I wonder how fully realized that will be.
Yeah.
But I'm skeptical.
I'm super not sold on it, dude. Like, I'm very skeptical about how that's going to turn out. A cool concept, yeah, but like, I don't see how every character can have its own personalized backstory to get them into the, like, they're gotta be cookie cutter stories and like just slight differences. Like everyone just like, oh, my, brother-in-law's daughter's boyfriend stole my inheritance, go and rescue it for me. Like,
like it'll be some
it's at the pub as opposed to like in the club.
Some fetch quest to get them on your team, and maybe a bit too what's the word, ambitious for like,
worry it's too ambitious.
And they pushed it back to come out. It was meant to come out in March, and now it's coming out in like the end of October. But like, maybe they should have just pushed it all the way back to next gen and made it 2021. But I guess then it would have conflicted with Farcry, and Ubisoft have to make some money this year.
They have to do something.
Yeah. So,
I think it really would have benefited them, and like I know that a lot of people are pretty skeptical about the whole premise of you can be anyone and everyone's super unique.
Yeah.
I think it really would have benefited them to show more variation, especially in the recruiting missions, and then in the people. We always get to see the old lady.
Yeah,
like,
I know that's like their gimmick still. It's like, come on, show us
the old lady.
more.
And I know they showed us some new people this time, but they're such classic archetypes. Like,
Yes.
I wanna see how the individualism of all those characters is actually enacted, so that I can put some faith in you, because my faith is pretty low. Like,
Yeah.
it's not up there.
Yeah.
Sadly.
I don't really. I'm not sold. And I don't know if I'll buy it. We'll see. It's probably going to be like too many hours long. I didn't really get into the other two as well. So, yeah.
Neither.
Moving
Plus,
on.
everyone gets to hack.
Yeah. Well, that's Watch Dogs, isn't it? It's like your phone is just linked to everything.
I mean, I get it, but I can't have any tech dumb people. Like, I can't have some boomer. Like, dude. Like, I can't have that guy. Like, they don't exist in this world.
Where's the settings?
What is on? What do you mean?
Oh, shit. Okay, I'm going to run through a couple quickly because they mean nothing to me. Valhalla is coming to iOS and Android on August the 6th. Might and Magic
Sweet.
Era of Chaos. There was a trailer. I vagued out. I don't know what they were advertising. And there was a game they showed again called Elite Squad. Who cares? It's a mobile game. It just looks like, I don't know, poor man's Overwatch. I don't know. Who cares? Like, why even show that crap?
Like,
yeah, and with like Sam Fisher there. And okay, got another question. This will bring us to this. So they showed Sam Fisher again in this stupid mobile game, which last year they showed as well, and they were like, Sam Fisher is here in this mobile game, and everyone just wants a Splinter Cell. So good friend of the show, Grey Aussie Gamer, on Twitter at Grey Aussie Gamer, says, why don't Ubisoft just make a new Splinter Cell game already? And I mean, even as someone who's not really hugely into the Splinter Cell series, I played the first one on the original Xbox a little bit with one of my friends back in the day. It was awesome. There goes a cat. I really don't understand this at all. Why Ubisoft are leaving money on the table and not doing a new Splinter Cell? What?
They're trying to get to the like Valve level of infamous not making a game. Like, they're trying to get on that Half-Life 3, Portal 3 bullshit, where they're not making another Splinter Cell, even though everyone wants it, and everything else they bring out is same-face garbage. Like,
yep.
Hopefully it's on the back burner somewhere. Like, and like next gen, it's gonna pop out. It's gonna look good.
And be like,
I don't know,
a spy thriller. Like, like that would be so sick. Don't make it like all other Ubisoft games. Make it a little bit like more like God of War camera, like really over the shoulder, and lots of gadgets and stealth focused. I think it would do really well. Just make it single player, linear. Like I
don't have any microtransactions.
Please no. Oh my god. It's coming for Watch Dogs and
absolutely
AC.
Well, of course it is. Like Watch Dogs, all the masks that they wear, of course you're going to have to buy 90% of them. Like,
yeah. You want that pig mask? $7.
$7. $40.
I think, if rumors are true about Perfect Dark, I think Perfect Dark maybe, and it's probably not going to be stealthy, but it's going to be like a spy game with lots of technology.
Yeah. That
may kind of scratch that itch for some people, but it's also the I guess the like legacy of something like Splinter Cell. It's like, why are they leaving that untouched? And for so many years, it's been, I don't even know when the last one came out.
either. Like,
I think that's
too long.
madness. Ubisoft need to sort their shit out.
They really do. We're just like,
boggles me.
Ubisoft, garbage.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ubisoft, we really do love you in a way.
Sometimes.
In a way.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't get that at all. They've got like 50 million studios and like thousands of staff.
Million IPs to go in.
Yeah. And they're just like, oh, let's do. Oh, I don't know.
It seems like an easy money grab. Like, I don't know if they're. Maybe they've got like some sort of graph and they're like, we're not at the optimal hype yet. Like,
yeah.
We'll go through another pitfall before we can rise to optimal hype, and then we can announce that we're maybe going to be working on it. It's going to bring the hype back down and then back up again, and we're on the trajectory to success. Like,
oh, where can we put microtransactions in?
Yeah.
And like, they even like, all the creative directors even did a tweet last year, like, something about Splinter Cell, and it was just a big joke, and they were all out having fucking booze, getting pissed, and it's like, come on, don't do that. People are going to be fucking furious.
Your stock price is going down. I'm selling now.
Sell it all. Sell Ubisoft. Just buy, I don't know. CD Projekt Red's not even a public company, I don't think, but they're worth more than Ubisoft now. I don't know.
I'd buy me a hot one stock. That's all I can afford. But no, they're really screwing the pooch, man.
It'd change up their portfolio a bit, you know, because it wouldn't be an open world game. I mean, they'd probably make it open world and ruin it, like they did. In my opinion, that's what they did with Ghost Recon. I loved Future Soldier. It had linear levels where, like, you do a mission.
They would definitely do the same thing. You're totally right.
Yeah, and like they had a great multiplayer, and even I think one of the recent wasn't that recent. One of the later Splinter Cell games had apparently really cool multiplayer. And it's like Spies and Thieves or something like that. And you know, you can still have multiplayer if you really want, but you don't have to. Just make a good single player linear game. I don't know. It's stupid.
You can't milk it, man. You can't milk it. They've got to figure out how to milk it before they can start producing it.
Well, speaking of milking it, Hyperscape, which released in beta this week, I believe, or something like that, is a battle royale.
Yeah, milk it. But this is the one thing I was interested in because I was like, that looks cool. I don't have any sort of battle royale games that I play anymore, so
yeah, I think
maybe I'll get in.
May have
Looks
potential.
cute.
It's got
who knows,
some integrated like Twitch features where like your audience can put on like low gravity mode or unlimited ammo and stuff like that, and I think that has potential, but they're only making this to compete in a market that is where all the money's at, right? Yeah. Like they advertise like a battle pass in like, fuck
yeah,
why are all these games just the same as each other? Right,
I mean, it has like a little bit of like backstory about getting through to the center of the hyperspace and figuring out what the bad things are happening. I have no idea how that's supposed to tie into a battle royale.
No.
But that's what I want to know, and that's why I'll play it a little bit, and then I'll be like, oh, it has nothing to do with.
Oh, it's like Overwatch, where the story literally doesn't matter.
Literally doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exactly like that. But the girl in the trailer, she has a ghost, like in Destiny. Like she fully just has like. It looked exactly like a ghost. I know it's a camera, but it looked exactly like it. But they had cool outfits. That's cool.
Yeah, cool design. I like the world design and the fact that it's like in a city and not just like an open area for a battle royale. That's kind of cool and different.
Super fast paced from what I saw. Like there's like jump pads and you can just jump around.
Yeah. I
think if you collect multiples of the same weapon, it levels up your weapon sort of thing to give you higher stats.
Clever.
And instead of the battle royale, just the circle squeezing in, the edges of the hyperspace dissolve and like push you into the city, and then it like dissolves out into nothing, so you can't go back there.
Okay.
Which is cool. Very cool take on it.
Yeah.
But very clearly a battle royale. But if you want, open beta, PC now, go download it, give them a play, and give them feedback before it becomes forever.
Before it becomes forever.
You have the chance to change the course of history.
And it seemed that maybe this was just one mode potentially, because they were like, Hyperscape is like the digital world or whatever, and this is like the crown, whatever they called it. What do they call it?
Crown Rush.
Crown Rush. So I wonder if maybe
Yeah.
they'll do different game modes in the future, and
That would be cool.
mm, mm.
But I wonder how much they'd change it, because it would be hard to go into the battle royale genre or space and then try and pop out different types of games as well.
Yeah, but I guess if you get people in, and then you're like, hey, this new game mode's here, like Fortnite did it. I don't know if they still do. They did like, 50v50 and different kind of styles of the same thing. But once you get people in the game, maybe they'll be interested to play a different mode. But people love Battle Royale. I just don't get it, to be honest.
Yeah, look, I get into them for a hot moment, and then I remember that I suck and I'm shit at shooting real life people. Like, give me some AI and I'm good to go. PvE, I'm solid, but PvP,
me too.
I'm hot trash.
That's
I'm
probably
garbage,
why I don't play them, because I'm dog shit.
Foul the fuck out. Yeah, I'm not good at all. I need someone to carry me. But if it has cool lore, like they went into how like they created the characters and they thought about them top down. They went into all this garbage about the lore. Please have something about the lore. Like please make it useful. I want to know. I like lore, and you know what? It wasn't bad. It was a good premise. I want to know more.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have an Overwatch situation. I don't want to buy comic books to learn about the story that doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I feel that for sure. So that's a thing. Play it if you want to. It's still in open beta. Open beta? I think it's open beta.
Yeah, it's open beta. I don't know where to get it. Probably on the Ubisoft.
You play. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Big Dog Phil Spencer made another appearance in his home office again. He has had a busy week. To announce that smart delivery is coming for Watch Dogs with ray tracing. Kind of cool.
Very cool.
And then I wonder if they did this because like Ubisoft really fucked over Xbox by being like, our gameplay trailer is going to be at your event. There's no gameplay, because he was like, here's some gameplay for AC Valhalla, pretty much.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's like, you can watch it now, you dogs.
AC Valhalla, I think it has a lot of potential. We've discussed visually what we think of it. I
also say,
please,
visually, was it like, did it seem super zoomed out? Like, I felt like I was so far away from the character watching the little gameplay snippets.
It's kind of like that in Odyssey as well. It is.
It felt so zoomed out in the like hand-to-hand combat sections.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Assassin's Creed's always kind of been like that. I can't see. Is this isometric now?
Is this me? Which one's me?
I did like the weapons. I like the fact that you can dual wield anything, even two shields, apparently. Except they were saying like you can dual wield any two weapons, and they showed a guy using, they showed her using two-handed swords. So I was like, well, no, you can't. It's a two-handed sword. You can't dual. Anyway.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, what? I was like, you can two-hand anything?
Pretty brutal.
It fully confused me.
The harpoon that like pulled that guy's head off. That was cool.
That was sick.
Stealthing is back in a big way by the looks of things, where you can blend. I like that.
Yeah.
I always love that in Assassin's Creed. You can just like.
I didn't see any benches that you could sit on though. You can knead the dough though.
Yes, you can knead the dough, and then she was sitting with a group of people at a table, not a bench though.
Not a bench though. Like
too conspicuous for 2020.
Main character bench, like I need the bench to come back.
You could only do that in the Renaissance. Apparently the Vikings
only in
were
the
smarter
Renaissance
than
did
that.
people randomly sit on benches. Like, started.
Yeah, they're all philosophers, and they're all sitting there like contemplating the
Nothing's
universe.
going on. What's life? What's up? I really liked the raid idea though.
Yes.
Get in my boat with my pals, go and revive them as they go along. Just fuck up some random villager's day. Like
setting it on fire was cool.
I'm just gonna literally only shoot my fire arrows at the burnable
Yes.
huts. Like
Yeah.
that person was in for full
Thatch
carnage.
roofs.
But,
See you later.
yeah. But cool idea. I like that you can go and looteth the goods and
Yeah.
return it to your camp and improve it. That's
And
sick.
yes, the settlement stuff has got me really interested. I loved that in
Will be a settlement.
Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, where it was like you're fixing up Monteriggioni, and that was a cool feature. And I think this looks really cool. Like you can actually build like a little township, and
Yeah, it looked pretty big.
yeah,
I think it's adding to it, which is nice. They kind of had it in Black Flag too, and then you ended up getting like that mansion at the top of the hill.
oh yeah, yep. Was that
Yeah.
was that 3 or Black Flag? No, it was.
That was Black Flag.
Yeah,
I've
that was
spent too much time in Black Flag.
a great game.
Loved it.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of potential, but it is coming out on a very inopportune day, being
Suckers.
the 17th of November, which that's
Eat
madness.
shit.
Absolute
Garbage.
madness. 2 days before Cyberpunk 2077, and I can't help but think that's not a great thing. There is going to be
Suckers.
some people who don't want to play Cyberpunk, but those people are fools.
Absolutely.
And
do not matter, frankly, no.
pretty much, yeah. Fuck those people.
Look, some people might be super fans of Assassin's Creed and they really want to get it day one. They'll play it for 2 days and then they're going to play Cyberpunk.
Yeah, true. I think it's going to be... Well, they've said it's like even bigger than Odyssey, and that in itself is like 100 hours apparently. So prepare yourselves. I want to get it and try it, but there's no way I'm finishing it before Cyberpunk comes out. Yeah.
Absolutely not. There's no way I'm... Do I? No. Like, it can be my break game. Like, wow, my brain is overloaded. Let me just go... No, I'm not going to do that. Absolutely not. Cyberpunk 100%. Like, Assassin's Creed, the following sale.
Yeah. Yeah. After Christmas, after I finish Cyberpunk... No, I'm not. I'm just going to play Cyberpunk again.
Yeah, I'm just going to
And
keep
Halo.
playing Cyberpunk.
And Halo for me.
Like, there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be playing, and Assassin's Creed, I don't know if you did enough to fit in.
Also,
I don't
like,
know if I had space.
for them to bring that out, like, what's that, 18 days after Watch Dogs Legion? I just don't get that.
I thought it was weird too, because I was like, and we were talking about this earlier today, like, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in so long that I was like, yeah, I'm legitimately interested in this, and then they're just going to shart all over themselves by putting it so close to their other large IP Watch Dogs, and then directly in front of Cyberpunk. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. Did they just have a cutoff time where they were told you need to get it out? Like,
Maybe, yeah.
maybe they're like, it's better to release slightly before Cyberpunk than to do it afterwards when definitely no one will buy our game. Like, at least give it 2 days. Like, I don't know. Real weird.
Yeah, it's strange timing. Like,
Oh, people are going to get it all in the Christmas specials. That's where they're going to get their sales.
maybe. Oh, it's just Black Friday. Black Friday or whatever.
Yeah, but super weird timing. I don't. I'm not about that.
Especially, like, assumedly right before next gen as well. So there's going to be, like, launch titles coming out. People, obviously, it's smart delivery and it's getting a free upgrade to PS5 as well. But people are still going to buy those consoles and want the launch game. So they want Halo. They want Miles Morales. Like, they're really competing in a friggin' tough space. And I know that, like, fall or our spring is always packed with big games, but this is, it's a bit bonkers, really. I think Watch Dogs will suffer the most.
Yeah, Watch Dogs is goodbye, whatever.
Yeah.
Toodaloo. But, like, Assassin's Creed, I don't know, maybe they're just relying on the big name to be enough. Like, and to get those holiday sales and to just really, like, I would say that a lot of parents or family figures would definitely be like, Assassin's Creed, oh, they've played that before, get the little one, like.
True.
Man. And, like, they have another Ubisoft Forward coming as well, like.
Yeah.
What else are they going to show us? And
hopefully Gods and Monsters, which apparently has a new name.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but apparently they've changed the name. I don't know why. I like the name. I thought it was good.
I like the name Gods and Monsters, but I'm interested to see more of that. But yeah, like, dude, Splinter Cell, it's gonna be there.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh, I'd die. I'd die. Like, Ubisoft, you're back in the good books.
Yeah.
You are number one. But yeah, weird. Like
That one's not even just open world, it's open friggin' solar system.
universe, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Open solar system. Forget open world, boys.
This is the new normal. Okay, and the last thing they announced.
Now.
This really, like, Ubisoft are the worst for things leaking, and I think this would have been a pretty cool announcement and a cool like one more thing moment, but it leaked like 3 days ago, and that's Far Cry 6. They're really pushing that the bad guy's being played by Giancarlo Esposito. Is that his name?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know how to pronounce the garbage, so I'm not even gonna try.
He is in Breaking Bad, which I haven't watched, but he's also in The Mandalorian, and he's apparently a really great actor. So,
He's really cool.
That trailer.
I loved that intro trailer with the red and the circles.
Yeah, that was very, very well done.
Very artistic. There are a couple of points where they switched away from the circle and they come right back to it. And I thought, technically on those parts, you could have just, like, I can nitpick that trailer because it is, very design based. That is my field. But man, I freaking loved it. And it would have been really good. That color palette and the whole artistic style. It kind of reminded me of like, almost in a soft way, like a Bond-esque intro,
yes, yeah, for sure.
Very, very cool. And it would have been so rad if it hadn't leaked. That would have been
absolutely
sick as hell. Everyone would have been like the crowd goes wild. The digital crowd goes wild. Lots of freaking
how the fuck
faces in chat. Like
I know everyone assumed Horizon Forbidden West was going to get announced, but it was never leaked.
Confirmed. Yeah.
And never confirmed. No one knew the name. But when that showed at Sony's
everyone knew
conference,
Horizon 2 was coming. Yeah.
But when that showed at PlayStation's conference, it was like, fuck yeah, look at this game. And that was one of those moments where it's like, towards the end of their conference, and it's like, here's something huge.
Yeah.
Far Cry 6, I think, would have kind of grabbed that, if it wasn't for that leak. That CG trailer was cool, definitely set the scene. And I think the game.
He was making a little model of my favy car, the Bel Air 57, and I freaking love that. I was like, I'll never afford it. So, but it was really cool. The dialogue in it, very poignant. Like, the whole thing was presented really nicely.
Yeah.
You got a release date and everything.
Yeah.
So,
what was it? Like, the 18th of February.
Yeah, next year. Absolutely. So nice and early next year.
Yeah.
But like
next gen.
It would have really fucking killed it if it hadn't leaked. Like that would have been top tier. That would have been so good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bit of a shame. Again, I guess it's one of those situations where it's good that they've taken a year off because that stupid Apocalypse one came out last year. And there was a game before that. 5 was the year before that. So it's technically going to be, 3 years since the last numbered entry, which hopefully means it's, a big change. I read a thing where they were saying that there is like a jungle area and beach area, but also the city, which I think is a fairly big new point for a Far Cry game because most of them are like very rural. Well, there's the rural American one, and then there's like the middle of nowhere ones as well, kind of jungle
and they're like
Himalayas.
Cities are small town, like small township areas as much as you get.
Like a little village kind of thing.
A little dock maybe, like.
And again, I've kind of lost interest in Far Cry, but if they're really touting this as a change, because you're not playing as like some outsider, you're playing as kind of like a revolutionary who already
Yeah.
lives in the country, and I think that lends credence to it having an interesting story rather than being like the American douchebag tourist or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
The savior complex sort of garbage.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
give you a
So,
little bit more pizzazz in your backstory.
hmm hmm but yeah, we shall see. I'm sure they're going to show gameplay soon. They've already announced their collector's edition, apparently. So whatever.
Yeah, I know, wild. Although I
Jesus.
guess if you got a release date, you may as well like.
Yeah, people will pre-order that shit. They'll eat it
And
up.
it would have been again very impactful if it hadn't leaked to be like, here's a new game, here's a release date, and here's a pre-order for you. Like
Yeah.
that would have been great.
I
They
don't know
also had
why it happens at Ubisoft. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know why, no. They also had free stuff while you were watching the stream,
Yes.
but it fucked up so much that a lot of people couldn't get it.
Oh.
So like they couldn't sign in, they were just seeing blank things, so they couldn't get it. So Ubisoft actually they have a website that you can just head to
Cool.
and you can get your free stuff now. So
I think
if
it was
anyone
Watch
wants to
Dogs
grab some
2.
free- Watch Dogs 2 and
Yeah.
then some other in-game goodies,
Ah, cool.
which I have no idea what they are. But if you want that, go on in. Like head on
Yeah.
over to Ubisoft, get your free crap.
Your
Enjoy
free
Watch Dogs 2.
in-game tap.
Yeah.
Another game they didn't show was Roller Champions, which we might see later on.
Yes,
Nowhere to be seen.
I wondered about that too because like I'm into that game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed playing that when it was in like was it an alpha that it was?
Yeah, it was like
before?
pre-alpha or something like that.
Pre-alpha sort of
Had
thing.
no
I
sound
had a
effects
fun
and
time.
shit.
I only had no like music while you roller skated around. It was just like
Yeah.
weird skates. Like there was a lot of improvements that could be made, but I had a fun time, so I'd be keen for that. Like
Yeah.
pop that on my wish list. I'm done. You know what? Ubisoft, I take it back. Ubisoft has some good things that I'm looking forward to. They just showed none of them in this
Yeah,
forward.
I know. The two games I'm interested in, Beyond Good and Evil and Gods and Monsters, like nothing. And I don't expect Beyond Good and Evil at all. I'm not expecting to see that. And that can take its time.
Neither.
That's
I think
fine.
that's a long way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it deserves to take its time. Like I want it to succeed with the whole of my heart. And if it takes another 4, 5, 7 years, so be it.
Yeah.
I mean,
If it's out
so
next
be it.
gen, then whatever.
what has it been like since like 2011, 2012 for Cyberpunk? Like
Well, yeah, I know.
That's
I'm cool with
8,
that.
9 years. Like I'm cool.
That game's
I'm
gonna
cool
be
with
so
waiting.
sick.
And we waited a whole pretty much another year after we thought we had the release date for it. Like I can be patient if you're giving me something good. You can push it back to deliver something at a higher level.
Yeah.
And
What did
people-
Miyamoto say? He said, a rush game or a delayed game is eventually good. A rush game is always bad, or something
Always
like that.
Yeah, something like that. I know
And that
exactly what
very
you're saying.
true, and that's why Nintendo shits out games every like fucking decade.
Yeah, they're like, here is a crumb.
They're like, here's a logo for Metroid Prime 4. No, it's been delayed. See you next decade. See you next generation.
See you next generation. Switch Lite Deluxe Pro 3D XS Max. Metroid 4 will be available.
And it will still look like it's from the 360. Oh, that's
True.
mean.
Very true.
Okay, well, look, we were going to answer another question from a friend of mine on Twitter, Scopic. But you know what? I think we'll leave it for next week. We're at an hour and 13 minutes right now. So I think we'll leave that one because that is a topic I think it's going to take us about probably half a podcast to get through.
All right. Let's leave
So-
it for next week then.
Thank you for joining me, Kat. I'm very excited for this week because Ghost of Tsushima is coming out. We're both going to be picking that up, and I cannot wait to play that game. I'm very, very excited. I haven't bought a new AAA game for a while. Maybe.
Yeah, what was the last I bought?
Well, actually, Final Fantasy, but I watched Tash play all of it, and I'm about, I don't know, halfway through, maybe a bit less than halfway through.
What has come out this year?
But I don't know. Persona 5 Royal?
Yeah, I got that.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, I got
I
Animal
haven't bought
Crossing.
heaps. Yeah, true. I haven't bought heaps of new games. I've been playing, trying to get through my backlog, and then finding like a new game. Ooh, I like this. I'll play this now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, which was the most recent standout game that I can remember buying?
Hmm.
Death Stranding. That's it.
Mm,
That's the most recent,
that
like,
was fucking
big
November.
bucks fucker. Like,
Yeah.
that's a long time ago.
Yeah. What a game.
That's
That's actually about to come out on PC.
Yeah.
And then Horizon Zero Dawn comes out on PC like August 7th or something as well.
Too bad I just started like playing it before they announced that.
I know.
Which I finished now, which is amazing. But like, oops,
Yeah.
oopsie. Oh well.
Oh well. Yeah, so Ghost of Tsushima, we will be covering that in detail, potentially some special episodes and hopefully a spoiler cast with some friends, which would be fun.
Set up like a little book club.
Yes, yeah, a Ghost of Tsushima book club. So people who are playing it, if you are watching and listening to this, once it's out, put down some little notes, ask some questions on Twitter, even hit me up, slide into my DMs, just because
Slap him.
ask me spoiler questions and stuff like that, and it's something that we'd love to cover on future episodes of the show. Yeah, and keep an eye out on the channel as well. For this week, I've got a new video coming up about Xbox and potential launch lineup for the Xbox Series X. My cat is stalking me again. No,
What a
she's
cutie.
sitting down. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you so much for everyone who's subscribed to Direckt Gaming in the last few weeks. It's like looking good there.
Looking juicy.
Yeah, and thanks for checking out the
More
videos.
subs.
More subs. So like this video if you enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought about Devolver Direct, about Ubisoft backwards, and everything in relation to E3 and digital conferences. Hit us up in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter as well. You'll see our names down here. Cap Caddy is Cats, and you can also find her brilliant artwork over on Instagram at capcat.works. And yeah, just find me at Direckt Gaming everywhere. If you want to check out an audio version of the podcast, you can do that at anchor.fm/Direckt Gaming, or just search for Controllers and Coffee on your favorite platform of choice. We're on Google Podcasts now, which I'm pretty sure you can just search Controllers and Coffee podcast on Google, and you can play it straight through your browser. Apparently that's a thing. So do that. Support the channel. And thanks so much for joining me, Kat. That was awesome. Apparently it's been almost an hour and 20 minutes, and I didn't even realize. So take care.
Time flies when
Do you want to promote anything that you're working on at the moment, or just, what are you doing?
I promote good life, have fun, play video games.
# good life.
Good vibes only, and watch content. The end. Support content creators. The end. Done. That's it.
Thanks, Kat. Perfect. See you, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.